I work hard to earn my pay, and I saved real big today at All-American Ford.
Hey everyone, it's Jason Smino, the marketing director for the All-American Auto Group, and I'm here for episode number 6 of the All-American Auto Mall and Old Bridge Updates podcast. Last week was episode 5. I talked a lot about Subaru Loves Pets Month and how we are very proud and very excited to be doing a pet adoption video series we're calling the 2020 Petapalooza. And we're doing it with Sammy's Hope, which is an animal welfare and adoption center in Sayreville. So that first episode actually airs today at 3 o'clock. So it's Thursday, October 8th. And that first episode is going to be released on YouTube and Facebook at 3 o'clock. Couldn't be more excited. Think it's a great episode. So definitely urge everybody to check that out. And you can find that information on our social media pages or at oldbridgepetevent.com. And also for this month, we are working with NJ1015 on their cutest pet contest. So it's kind of in conjunction and in combination with our Petapalooza event and, Subaru Loves Pets Month. So the cutest pet contest has gotten over 1,000 photo submissions so far. You can still submit your pet photo by this Sunday, October 11th. And for that, you just go to nj1015.com/pets2020. And then we also have, starting on Monday, so next week, Jim Raffone and Jar of Hope, their big event starts, their big walk from Washington, D.C. to Old Bridge, New Jersey. Starts on Monday. I'll be talking about it a little bit next Thursday on the episode. If you remember or want to look back, I had Jim Raffone on as a guest this podcast for episode 3. So check that out if you want to hear more about it, and check that out on Facebook as well. All right, so just one more thing before I get into the meat and potatoes of this episode, which is the 2021 Mustang Mach-E. I just have to call myself out and kind of make fun of myself a little bit. Last episode, again, it was all about Subaru and our All-American Subaru and Old Bridge location here, and Subaru Loves Pets Month. And I talk about a special vehicle within Subaru from last year, the 2019 model year, which is called the Subaru STI S209, and I called it the STI 206. So I probably made some Subaru enthusiasts cringe when I did that. So I'm owning up to a big mistake. My marketing team caught it right away. So shout out to Mike, Kate, and Nate. They're a fantastic marketing team. I think it was Mike who probably caught that when he was listening and editing the podcast episodes. So I apologize to anybody I deeply offended by that mistake. And I'll try to do my best to limit the mistakes moving forward. All right, so for this episode, I really wanted to dive into the 2021 Mustang Mach-E. So this is the all-new, all-electric SUV by Ford with the Mustang nameplate. That was sort of a point of contention and disagreement, I would say, within the Ford community when they announced it. A lot of Mustang lovers, some of them got upset that they were using this nameplate for a vehicle that's going to be electric and an SUV. So it was interesting to kind of see that unravel. I think Ford did a great job in terms of getting some of the key Mustang fan groups around the country involved. They made it sound like those groups ended up happy with it. And I think it is going to be a very, very successful vehicle. I think it'll take a little bit of time with it though, but once it gets out there in the marketplace, which should be fairly soon, I think it's going to be great. They're trying to follow the Tesla model a little bit with it. Right now the sales are all online, and we've gotten a bunch of sales and reservations and orders online for it. But it's going to come out towards the end of December at this point. Might even get pushed back to January. We'll see. I'll have a better update definitely for sure next month. But basically, once we see it, feel it, touch it, once customers can test drive it, I think it's going to really explode. I think it's going to be great. And what's really exciting to announce on this podcast is that we're going to be hosting a 2021 Mustang Mach-E road tour here at All American Ford in Old Bridge on October 22nd. between 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. So it's this cool thing Ford is doing where they're sending out 2 Mustang Mach-E's to some of the key and some of the bigger dealerships in the area throughout October and November to give customers and even the staff a chance to see it, feel it, touch it for the first time. They're also sending a team of, I believe, 4 Mach-E experts from Ford that are going to be here to talk to customers about the Mach-E. They're going to be able to provide one-on-one walkarounds with them. So it's going to be a really cool event. So that's October 22nd from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. I'm going to be posting about it like crazy on our Facebook pages. There's already a Facebook event for it. So if you want to go to that and kind of, click that you're interested in it, you'll get reminders leading up to it. You could register for it. You don't have to. We'll accept the walk-ins for it, but I think it'll be better if you register, and that way, you kind of book your spot of when you'll have one of those Ford experts to give you attention and to be able to walk around just with you. Right now, we're planning it to be an outside event. I believe the Ford team is bringing some sort of tent. We'll see how that goes. Weather permitting, worst comes to worst, we'll be able to support bringing it inside. If you're a car enthusiast, I definitely recommend coming out. Again, there's no obligation here. There's no price, no tickets for it or anything. So if you have nothing to do that day, I don't see why you wouldn't want to come out and see this beautiful and just innovative vehicle that Ford came out with. So follow that on Facebook leading up to it. And then that day, I'll be posting like crazy. Of course, we'll have a podcast episode coming out that day, so I'll kind of talk about it a little bit as well that day. But it's gonna be a lot of fun. So I definitely recommend come out with friends, come out with family. It's gonna be a great time. Ford really tried to beat Tesla at their own game with this one. And I think they did it. I mean, it's hard to tell, right? A lot of the stats and numbers are targets because, again, the first one hasn't come out yet. That'll be later this year, December, January. But when you start to look at some of the numbers for this, I mean, it has a targeted range of 300 miles. That's pretty good, on the scale of range for these electric vehicles or all electric vehicles. The GT trim is going to go 0 to 60 in the mid 3-second range, which is incredible for an electric vehicle. So that's exciting. And that's kind of that Mustang performance aspect of this vehicle. It's not going to be your typical all electric vehicle. It's going to have a lot of power. It's not going to be just, you're going to step on the gas and not feel anything. I think Ford made a big point to address that, especially with using the Mustang nameplate. I think that was important to them with that. So that's something exciting to kind of watch out for. And the charging aspect of it, I mean, some of the numbers they're coming out with that you might be able to charge up to 60 miles in just 10 minutes, which, that is lightning fast charging, and that'll really help with some extended road trips and the worries that come with, charging your vehicle on longer road trips. But I'll get into charging a little bit later as well. There's just a lot of cool technology that is involved with this Mustang Mach-E. You're going to sit in it and you're not going to believe it's a Ford. You're going to think that it's an advanced Tesla. That's how good of a job I think they did. I actually got to sit in one in New York City last year. They had a very small and pretty exclusive event for the top Ford dealers in the tri-state area, and had to take the train into the city. You go to this little factory warehouse thing, and they had one Mach-E there. You were able to sit in it and kind of play around with the touchscreen in it, which, again, it was fantastic. It's got the Sync 4A, which is the latest version of Sync. It's basically a 15.5-inch touchscreen. So it's like the size of an iPad or bigger. And just the amount of things you could do with it, the way they advertise it on Ford.com is that it's intelligent, adaptive, and user-friendly, and really creates a personalized driving experience. They're going to have cloud-based connectivity, over-the-air update capabilities, and of course, you get the voice recognition and the navigation, everything you get now with the Sync. But it's really going to be cool to see it in person and be able to play around with it on a test drive. Unfortunately, that October 22nd road tour event, you're not going to be able to test drive it. And then I think Ford took a big step forward with safety. Definitely in the last couple of years, they released Ford Copilot 360. They got a lot better with a lot of their cool safety features. And this Mustang Mach-E is just going to have all of them, and it's going to be incredible. So the Ford Copilot 360 2.0 is what's going to be in this Mach-E. And it's going to be all the normal stuff that, a lot of the Fords have now, but a lot of them are going to be standard with the trims and the next level version of them. So you're going to get the pre-collision assist with automatic emergency braking. You're going to get the bliss, the blind spot information system with cross traffic alert, lane keeping system, rear view camera, auto high beams. So very excited about some of that stuff with the new Mustang Mach-E. There's a couple other really cool things about it that I wanted to point out. The navigation system and the Sync 4A is going to have a trip planner part of it. That's going to be really cool. So through Ford Pass, and I believe it's called the Power My Trip within their app, it basically makes trip planning hassle-free, and you get behind the wheel and you tailor your route to your destination in terms of your vehicle's battery level and available charging stations. So, a big thing with these all-electric vehicles is something they call range anxiety and charging anxiety. So they created this cool platform with Trip Planner where, it'll see your route. It'll tell you if you could make it there, first of all, with your battery. And if you can't, it'll direct you to charging stations on the way. So kind of takes the guesswork out of it. I think it makes it really easy. And I'm pretty excited to see how that feature actually works in person. One of the cool things about this Mustang Mach-E too is that there's going to be an all-wheel drive feature available on some of the trims. So I know that's really big for, all electric in general, but for SUVs now, and then especially in this area. So that'll be really cool. And then the last thing is the charging. So this is what probably stops people the most from buying all electric vehicles is the charging aspect of it, right? So they're afraid that the battery is going to run out mid-drive. So Ford really tried to address this head on. I think it seems like they did a good job with it. We'll see, obviously, but on paper, it looks like they fully addressed it. So you could power up at home with the Ford mobile charger, which, for the electric vehicles, it'll work with the 120V or 240V outlets. So perfect for at home. You charge overnight, which is big for them. And then on the road, there's going to be tons of charging stations, throughout the network of current charging stations. And Ford Pass and the app and the touchscreen navigation will really be able to, direct you to those so that you don't have to worry about anything. Like I mentioned, if you're planning a big trip and you put that into navigation, it'll fully factor that in and take you to charging stations along the way. So I think the charging aspect of it is going to be something that every brand has to overcome as we, all move towards more electric vehicles. And I think this one addresses it. Obviously, we'll see what happens. But again, on paper, it looks great. You could always find more information about the 2021 Mustang Mach-E all-electric SUV on our website, allamericanfordandoldbridge.com. Ford.com has a lot of good information and videos on it as well. But we definitely hope we see you October 22nd between 11 and 5 p.m. So come out if you're interested in seeing this beautiful, brand new, exciting, and innovative vehicle. All right. So the NFL picks portion of this podcast, I have a lot of fun with this. I get some great feedback from folks on this and some of my picks so far. So to recap last week, I had the Saints over the Lions as my top pick of confidence, which was the Shelby F-150, and we won that. I had for my Explorer Tier 2 confidence level pick, I had the Las Vegas Raiders over the Bills, and I lost that. And, of course, all of these are with the spread. And then my lowest level of confidence, the EcoSport pick of the week, was the Broncos over the Jets on Thursday night, and that was a winner. So last week, not too bad. Went 2-1. That's always a good week. I'll always take that, obviously, over 1-2 or 0-3. So that brings me to a total of 8-4 overall. So not bad at all. So this week, my highest level of confidence, Shelby F-150 pick of the week. I'm going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers over the Bears. Game happens tonight, Thursday night. Spread is a little bit less than a touchdown right now, so not too bad. My Explorer level pick of the week, I am going to go with the Steelers, about a touchdown favorite over the Eagles in the Battle of Pennsylvania. As I've mentioned before, I'm a huge Giants fan, have just a burning hatred towards the Eagles. I went to school at the University of Scranton, so it was a lot of Eagles fans, so that probably played a part into it as well. So definitely will be rooting for the Steelers this week. And then the Echo Sport pick of the week, I am finally going with the Giants, my favorite team. They are catching a lot of points against the Cowboys, and of course, I hate the Cowboys. So it's the first time picking the Giants. They have been absolutely awful this season and really the past few seasons. Right now, football in New York and New Jersey is just not something that you want to watch right now. But hey, I'm going for it. So I like these picks this week. Let's try and get, a 3-0 week. That would be fantastic. And thanks everybody for joining, and I'll be back next week.
Well, everyone can